Oke, nah seperti ini ya adik-adik, jadi gini karena namanya nah gitu. Oke, terus video call. Video, terus kita cari video. Kita taruh di channel apa tuh? Oh, di lewat bos. Soal audio nih. Klik. Oh, udah. Oke, kita ambil musik dari ini. Musik dari.
Gimana mas?
Ayo kita belajar mas ya. Halo. Kayak remake OBS.
Lah iya, caranya remake.
Ya remake.
Hah?
Remake, tapi nek semisal kayak emang pentek bener-bener kayak iso remake, OBS gak apa-apa.
Lah seneng kayak apa? Yang dari siji.
Bener ya iso.
Hah?
Bener ya iso.
Cara OBS gak ono.
Bener kok. Karena anak. Kayaknya kalau mau kecil gue nih, karena aku sih ben kayak udah biasa lah.
Pasti di luar SD siji.
Sudah hiji. Ya aku sudah cari. Kayaknya kalau mau kecil gue nih, karena aku sih ben kayak udah biasa. Uping lah ya, uping lah ya. Ya aku sudah cari. Uping juga. Terus
Kau iso penjalurannya kak?
iya.
Kau iso penjalurannya.
Ambil streamer yang nama audio itu coba ya tak datang apa coba ya pakai mutu nggak sebenarnya pakai mutu sebenarnya ngawam di mana desa kayak screen record itu loh file record kayak coba udah capture saya selalu udah capture coba kak bisa deh coba atas goblok sih baru nama yang kamu musik Krisna pertamanya kan
Apa?
Krisna sebenarnya gak tahu
Iya, sama.
soalnya yang gue gio no karena pak paling orang sama nang overtop mungkin masih terlalu tutup dulu ya terus atau zoom layout dulu ini benar banget Zoom layout gue. Apa cara ngatur zoom layout gue? Itu ngatur yang itu.
Audionya sih bagus.
Audio nih. Sama tapi yang melabunnya suka suka audio mikrofon gue. Bukan suka Kan audionya itu loh, Indo berarti ini.
Karena tes menera, jajal apa langsung angkat treatmentnya sih kan?
Treatmentnya treatmentnya.
Aset-asetnya sih kan?
Asetnya orang neng drive foto dia. Aku soalnya gue penasaran mas tidak. Aku tak penasaran mas tidak sebenarnya. Begini tahu. Gitu lah.
Oh butuh kaya berarti.
Apa?
Aku kacanya HDD.
HDD. Ya iso. Cuma kena salah download soal ini iso.
Hah?
Download soal ini ya.
Iya maksudnya, karena kan nggak ada.
Nah, enggak ngono. Tak sila Krishna dua dede. Saya kena kan ana di program iki. Tracer Kika salah. Adis terus Bambar. Apa namanya pendek? Kanan. Terus credit title. Kita cukup betul. Nah, kan no hijau gitu. Aku mau coba gawe framing juga. Mau framing juga. Bisa ngguin dia kok. Bisa ngguin dia kok. Ya enggak nyoba iki sama kene komputermu gawe zoom. Nah, kita ada zoom juga. Suruh madang aku coba. Suruh madang. Kacauan. Sampai itu. Oh, sambal drag and drop ternyata. Terus lagi aneh. Kok gak aneh ya? Cek. Kayak gitu aneh kayak gak lawar tot ya cek. Kayak video ya. Masuk ke lawar tot ya berarti. Kita bisa pula. Coba nama gue ya. Ewas ada sedikit coba. Aku pengen asrama sih. Enggak berani mana. Apa asrama sih dulu? Aku cuma rehearsal presenter di konflik dulu. Ini Waktunya.
Nanti kapan? Nanti kapan?
Dulu tahu aku itu apa? Coba bisa ngomong untuk laut terus
main jasa sate Aset-asetnya nanti.
Iki wis sak kene kabeh mau. Ning download mau download. Download. Terus yang kene ono drive juga.
Ono treatmentnya enggak? Aku sih langsung treatment baik.
Terus, tapi gak semua aset sama soal. Apa ya? Novel ya?
Ya?
Novel.
Novel.
Paling bisa tuh. Paling salah halaman 29.
Boleh. Loh, masih on air ternyata bosku. Lip, kamu masih nyaut nang kene ora? Nah, WA. Yo. Lah bangsat bareng Joko anjing. Males banget sih, males jebulan.
Itu mau ke sesuai treatment.
Hah?
Mau ke sesuai treatment.
Iyalah bonus mepet ngene cuk. Nek aku sekang basic ya misalnya orang ketuk orang ketuk.
Mana telepon? Mana sih?
orang kejar nih aku mainnya sekarang basic ya.
OBS biasa
Hmm?
OBS
Apa nih?
sementara proyek bisa tapi enaknya sih ini nah harus dulu ya OBS tapi ribet ya OBS sama manual ini bisa OBS.
Do you want to know how to press a button or a key to make vMix do something? Like this? Stick around to learn a little bit more about vMix shortcuts. G'day everyone, Tim from vMix here, and in this video today we're going to take a look at shortcuts in vMix. Shortcuts allow you to press a key or a button to perform pretty much any function you want to do in vMix. There are currently over 300 different things you can do with just the press of a key, and vMix supports all kinds of controllers and devices. You can use your regular computer keyboard, Stream Deck, MIDI controller, X keys, computer joystick, or even an Xbox controller. Now some programs might call these hotkeys, macros, or even chazwazes, but in vMix they're called shortcuts. Now shortcuts also work well with vMix triggers, so I'd recommend checking out our vMix triggers video as well for a little bit more information about function-based automation with vMix. Alright, so as you can see here, I'm now in my production. Now I'm using vMix 24 today, so things look a little bit different. You may need to update to the latest version. And as you can see, I have a really basic production. I have a camera, or two, or three, and a couple of videos, and a title. Now in this tutorial today, I'm going to quickly show you how you can overlay this title using a shortcut. So Tim title here is what I want to set up a shortcut for. So first of all, we'll need to go to the shortcut settings in vMix, and they can be found in the top right-hand corner in the settings menu. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go to the shortcut section, which is over here on the left. Now when you open up this screen, it will bring up your shortcut screen and display any shortcuts that you currently have set up. Now you can see that I have got two shortcuts currently available to me in my production. Now the first one here is the red X keys button here that I have that overlays my confetti like so when I press it. And the second one I have here is the A key is hooked up to turn up my full screen. So I press the A key when I'm doing these tutorials so I can quickly go to my second screen, so it makes it easy to use. Now you'll see that the first one is in bold and the second one is not bold. So the first one's in bold because it's a local shortcut, meaning that I've saved it to this preset. So the preset that I have here, Shortcuts 2021, the bold means that it's saved to the preset, whereas the A key isn't bold, meaning it's a global shortcut, and it's saved to my vMix settings. So for the local preset, it means that it only works within that preset. So I don't want to use it across other productions, I just want to use it in this particular preset. So I'll explain a little bit more about that later on when we get to that setting. Up the top, you'll see different categories. So if I click keyboard, it will break down any keyboard shortcuts I have, any MIDI shortcuts and that sort of thing across the top. Now on the end here, we have a really handy key called the Find key. So if I click on this, I'll be able to see any shortcuts on the keys that I have set up for vMix. So for example, if I press the A key here and then click OK, it will highlight any shortcuts that are on the A key. And that's really handy if you've got a lot of shortcuts and you're like, not sure whether I have a shortcut on that particular key, but you can go to Find and then you'll be able to see it here, and then you can either edit it or just let yourself know that you have a shortcut on it. Okay, so here's where the fun begins. Let's add a shortcut to our production. So I'm going to click the Add key down here, and then right at the top here you'll see a key/control section. Now you can use the drop-down menu to select an option, say a keyboard here, like you use A, B, C, D, all the way down. A lot of different options here. Now you can also choose something like voice and use vMix voice. So check out the vMix voice video if you want to use your voice for shortcuts. But the easiest way to do things usually is to use the Find key, which is next to it, which will allow me to just click Find and then press the key that I want to use. So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to press Find, and then what I'm going to do is press my spacebar, like so. So once I press that in, it's going to register that key so I can use it for a shortcut. Then click OK. So now we need to decide what we want the spacebar to do. So by clicking the drop-down menu, we can open up the function menu and see the hundreds of different options. We've spared no expense when it comes to our shortcuts. As you can see down here, there are so many different options that you can choose from. Anything from like simple transitions, complex audio routing, streaming, recording, turning the full screen on and off, overlays, all that is available in the shortcuts section. Now, if you select all up the top here, you will see all of them down here, and those are then broke down into categories if you want to, say, click audio, just to see audio, or title, overlay, and that sort of thing. Now, if you go back up the top, you can see the ability to have a search here. So let's just say I wanted to just go to audio and see everything, every shortcut with the word audio in it, it will load all of those up. So if you ever want to search, go up to the all, which will give you the option to see everything, and then search for it. If you do go to a category like general and then search audio, obviously there's not going to be any here because there's no audio in that section. So for any searching, just go up to all and then search for it up there. So I should just quickly show you how you could switch cameras using a shortcut key. So what I would do is go to the transition category here and select a transition for it. So for example, I could select fade, and then I would have the option to choose how long the fade would take. So 1000 is 1 second, so I could change that to half a second, and then I could choose what input that happened on. So I could use the preview, or I could then go ahead and select an input. So that's how you would set up a shortcut to switch cameras. So now I need to choose what function I want to do. Now, as I mentioned before earlier, what I want to do is overlay my title in channel 1. So I'm going to go to the overlay section, and then I'm going to select overlay input 1. Now, a lot of the shortcuts will give you a brief description underneath it. So this particular shortcut will toggle overlay 1 on and off, which is what I want to do with my spacebar. And I'd recommend checking out the help guide to see all of the different shortcuts and all the different things that they do. It will also show you different parameters and values that can be used on shortcuts. For example, this one doesn't need any values because it's just overlaying a title. But if you want to set something like a volume level or a layer level or an input, there'll be another box here that will allow you to put in different values or parameters. So check out the help guide if you want to know a little bit more about something. If you set a shortcut and you're like, oh, I'm not sure what the value needs to be, check out our help guide. So underneath that, you will need to choose what input you want the shortcut to perform on. So I want to choose my title. I'm going to go down here and select Tim Title. Now underneath that, you'll see a tick box that says Assign Shortcut to Input Number. Now what this tick box does is actually assigns the shortcut to the input number in vMix. So as you can see here, you can see the little 8 next to Tim Title because it's number 8 in my vMix production. So if I tick this box here, the shortcut will only ever work on whatever input is in number 8. So if I move Tim Title to number 10, it won't work on Tim Title anymore, it will work on whatever is in number 8. Because I move my things around quite a lot, like my inputs around all the time, and I want to assign it specifically to my title, I'm going to untick this, and that means no matter where I put Tim Title, whether it's in input 1, 10, 15, it's always going to work. So you just need to play around with this to work out how you want to set it up. Now, if you have a controller that you're trying to set up with a bunch of different numbers, like 1 to 10 only, then you may want to tick this box so it's assigned specifically to that number. It's totally up to you on how you want to set it up. So underneath that, you have the ability to name the shortcut. You can also give it description 1 and description 2. So I'm going to call this one just Tim for now. Keep in mind that these need to be fairly short because there's not a great deal of real estate within all the menus and stuff like that. So if you hit a character limit, then you just have to make it a little bit smaller. Now underneath that, you'll see a display option. Now this is the display that's available in the web controller in vMix. So what I could do is say I could set a color or I could set an image for it to display in the web controller. So when you load that up, you'll see a representation of it. Now you can leave this as default and it will just say what it is in the web controller. Check out the web controller video if you want to know a little bit more about what that does. So that's the display. The only exception here is the Stream Deck. So the Stream Deck actually has display buttons. So you can actually display the thumbnail available on the actual key itself. But I'll go into that a little bit more once we get to it. Now, you might be also wondering, well, how do I set like different functions when I press a key or when it's active? How do I make my MIDI controller light up different colors? Well, you can check out our activators video on how to set up feedback to the different keys when you create shortcuts or when different things happen in vMix. Underneath that, you'll have the ability to either save this to a local preset, so that just the preset you use in vMix, or a global preset that can be used across multiple productions. So I like to leave these locally because I don't share my settings across my productions because I do a lot of different tutorials doing different things. So I'm going to tick this box.
Lama ya guys ya.
This is a 60-second vMix tutorial about shortcuts. There's a much longer video if you want to check that out, but this is for people that are like, hey, just point me in the right direction and I should be able to work it out from there. The shortcut in vMix is a key that you can set up to perform a function. Alright, so to find shortcuts, go up to settings in the top right hand corner, and then just go to the shortcut section. To add a new shortcut, click add, then you can go to find to select a key. So I'm going to select the spacebar here. You can also use the drop down menu if you wanted to. For the function, we need to select what we want the shortcut to do. So I want to overlay in channel 1 my title. So I'm going to select the title from the input section, like so, and then I can choose some of the other settings down here as well, and then click OK, and then click OK. So now when I press the space bar, it's going to overlay my title in channel 1, like so, and because I set it up to toggle, I can press it again to turn it off. So thanks for watching. Check out the longer video if you want to know more about shortcuts. And then I can choose some of the other settings down here as well, and then click OK, and then click OK. So now when I press the space bar, it's going to overlay my title in channel 1, like so.
Nah. Oh, fake. Dah. Ya kok hilang. Wow.